All right, hi, hello. My name is Jonathan, and I am not making the video that I said I was going to because I said I wanted to review shit, and I've been thinking about reviewing teeth for like 4 weeks or some bullshit whenever I last did that. But that's not important. I have been watching this lady's content on the left. Her name is Marnie, and I don't even know how to say it. I guess I should have like thought about this stuff more, but this is me. I have ADHD. I never shut up about it. And so the estranged mother thing really interests me because I estranged my mother, but I never like think about it that way. So I don't know. And I wanted to use this video as a jumping off point. So in the unlikely event that you see this, Marnie, um I'm being lazy and just using your video first. So I will put this in the description. Definitely go look at her channel if you are interested in this kind of stuff. She is a therapist. Um, I think she's wonderful and sassy. And yeah, so I didn't really think about where I was going to put this. Um, I don't know. I think an introduction for her is what I want to do. I don't remember when she starts talking. Um, I don't want to completely cut her out of it.
Them. So they're coming at me instead of facing their own problems, telling me to go to therapy when they should go to therapy. Then they wouldn't be answering the way they are. They would be giving support instead of negativity and hate.
So wait a minute, telling somebody they should go to therapy is hate and negative and not supportive? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that telling somebody to get support services to do better is hateful.
I don't think it's hateful. I think everybody should go to therapy at some point. I think it doesn't need to be a lifelong thing for everybody. I have borderline personality disorder, possibly CPTSD instead of that, or whatever. All these diagnoses get thrown around. Um, but it can be useful. I think that it could be a useful tool to identify uh, problems in people before they get worse and turn into things that, become tragic. But that's a whole nother conversation. So I'm going to try to figure out where. So what Marnie does is, and that's why I'm kind of taking advantage of this, is she will put the lady at the end, because she says that she doesn't want. Um, Marnie says that she doesn't want people to think she's taking the people she's responding to out of context. So she plays the entire video afterwards. And I'm just going to take advantage of that because then I can respond to this lady because her video is here. So don't hate me, Marnie. All right, let's see.
Thank you for being here. Closing it out.
You're welcome, Marnie. That was a great video. I feel like I'm being weird.
It's funny the amount of comments I get about being an estranged mother. It's like I'm with talking. It's funny the amount of comments I get about being an estranged mother. It's like I'm with talking to my own children all over again.
Maybe you should think about that and the fact that they're trying to tell you. Probably. I haven't looked at these comments, but they're probably trying to tell you about their experiences so maybe you could talk to your children better. And it seems like you think that this is some kind of joke.
These people coming into my comments, which are probably estranged children or trauma children, so it triggers them. My situation is triggering them, so they're coming at me instead of facing their own problems, telling me to go to therapy when they.
So like Marnie said, go to therapy. If you think you don't have to work on yourself, you're delusional. You have a schism with your children and they're not talking to you. Maybe you should explore why.
They should go to therapy. Then they wouldn't be answering the way they are. They would be giving support instead of negativity and hate.
Are they giving you negativity and hate? Or are you just reading the things that they're saying as negativity and hate?
No, that's not what it's about. And that might be the whole reason why parents are estranged from their kids, because their kids are hateful. They're ungrateful, hateful little brats. I call.
So, right there, you are invalidating their feelings, you're invalidating what they say because you don't want to hear it. It seems like your position would be what they're saying is bullshit. And that's why you're never going to repair your relationship.
Call mine rotten apples, because that's what they are. They're rotten to the core because they've always gotten, always. And when you bring the hammer down and finally say no,
I should have stopped it earlier. They're rotten apples. So they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and there's a reason for that. So what did you do to them to make them rotten apples? Things don't happen in a vacuum. And I'm sure that there are kids that turn out differently, or, things happen to them that are not always their parents. And if it's multiple kids that are having this problem with you, you need to examine why.
or you do something that they don't like, or you set boundaries, boom, you're toxic.
Is it just one thing though? Is it the boundaries? Do you think about this stuff? Or actually, I wrote notes. Are we even at the point where she's talking about it? Yeah, I started writing the notes before this, but whatever. I'm a disorganized person. ADHD, all that shit. I never shut up. I like my TV though. I drew this. Well, I like traced it and then I drew different parts of it. It's a TV that I had when I was a teenager, and that's not important right now. Oh, I'm not on YouTube.
You're negative. You need help. We were struggling. I never got what I want. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Okay.
So I don't think the big issue is I never got what I wanted. I think probably your kids didn't get what they needed. And I would guess that what they're talking about now isn't I wanted, like I never got this toy or whatever the fuck. Now they're talking about, like, you didn't provide this for me, something that was necessary for me to grow into a functional adult.
Okay. My kids are grown already. They know what's going on. This is, they're punishing me. This is their way of punishing me. It's like they're putting me in a corner. That's what they're doing. Not talking to me, ganging up on me.
All right, let's see. I think I made notes about this, and now I'm gonna be like, wait, did I not go to the fucking top? They're punishing me. So are they punishing you, or are they distancing themselves? So it sounds like you're deflecting, and you're making yourself the victim. You're trying to. I'm trying to read my notes, and I can't see because it took. But maybe I should read them and then say what I said. So yeah, that would be a good idea. So you're saying that they're punishing you. And I would say, are they, or are they distancing themselves from you? And it sounds like you think the punishment is not having access to them. And what I'm hearing is that you're deflecting, saying that you did everything right and that they're just whining. And you're trying to make yourself the victim by saying that they're doing this to you. So my guess would be that when they're trying to tell you their feelings, what they went through, how they see their childhood, you're invalidating them, which is hurtful, frustrating. And when you continue to do that, they're not going to stay there trying to tell you about this. Being around your parents when they've done this kind of stuff to you is painful. It reminds you of the stuff that happened. And they're not just going to get over it, you know? So my question to you is, have you asked them what you did? Have you actually like let them speak and listened to what they say? And if you have, did you reflect on it? Did you maybe try to see how their view of things came about? Why they feel this way?
Whatever the case may be, they're punishing me because basically my son basically told me eye for an eye. So, you know, they're mad.
So I don't think that that is a great thing to say, eye for an eye. Um, it's not. What the fuck did I say? I said like all these sayings, you know, an eye for an eye makes the world blind. And I would say that his anger is probably valid. Whatever happened between the two of you, he definitely has strong feelings about it. And I think what he does with that anger is important because it's valid to feel. I don't think taking it out on you is helpful. And he's not in a place where he's probably not in a place where he can tell you about this without reliving what happened and experiencing it in his head, because that's what's making him angry. And there was a time that I felt like if I saw my mother, I was going to hit her. And I avoided her because of that, because I knew it wouldn't help. I knew that it would just make everything worse. And it's interesting because some of my family got mad at me because I decided, you know, this isn't going to be good for anybody. I need to get to a point where I don't feel this way. Right now, I do feel this way. So I cannot be in contact with her. And I don't know. I hope he's in therapy so that he can. He's not going to be able to talk to you until he gets his anger under control. If he's as angry as you say, but the eye for an eye thing, if he is restricting your access to him out of anger or to hurt you, then I don't think that that is a good thing. If he is distancing himself because he needs space, what am I trying to say? If he's distancing himself because he needs space because he can't deal with you right now, then that is valid and that's what he's doing. Like I said, his anger is valid. How he treats you based on that is what matters. He's allowed to be angry.
And they're punishing me. So I'm in the corner right now until they decide to tell me I can get out. But I'm not putting up with that shit. They don't want to talk to me. They ain't gonna talk. Then we won't talk. What I did is absolutely nothing wrong. And
So you did nothing wrong. Um, like I said, did this happen in a vacuum? Did your kids just one day wake up and decide that you were awful and you abused them? That's not how things work. Let's see, I wrote a whole lot about that. So I wrote that it takes time to realize what our parents have done to us sometimes. And I I talk about myself a lot. I'm self-absorbed and I like to harken back to the things that I've gone through. When I was in high school, my mother convinced me that I had to repeat the 12th grade. Is my green screen okay? I don't want it to be bouncing back and forth. Anyways, so my parents were divorced. She was collecting child support from my father for both me and my older sister. And my older sister was 4 years older than me. So she was 22. I was about to turn 18. My father hadn't cut off the child support for my older sister, even though she didn't even live with my mom anymore. But my mother was freaked out that because when I turned 18, he would stop the child support. So my mother convinced me that I had to fail the 12th grade so that she could continue to get child support because I would still be in school. And what happened was I was with my boyfriend Nick and we were sitting on the beach in like Point Pleasant. I don't know why I'm telling the town. And I was telling him about this and he was yelling at me. And at the time, I didn't understand. I was like, why are you yelling at me? Like, she needs my help. Like, she needs me to do this, all this other stuff. And he was telling me how messed up it was. And it took me a long time, like a few years, to realize that that was not okay. And just a little random note, I'm just putting this out in the universe. Wherever you are, Nick, I hope you're doing well because I really appreciate that you were trying to give me a dose of reality. And I was not easy to deal with back then, so I'm sorry if I ever gave you trouble or anything, but I look back fondly on our times, even though you were mean to me. Just a little bit. All right. But my point is, my mom had me so indoctrinated that it just, this was ridiculous. And everybody I tell about that now, like, they're like, wow, what the fuck, Jonathan? And
It's terrible. And I give big hugs to every parent, mother, grandparent, whoever's out there going through this. Big hugs, big, tight, long hugs. Don't worry, we'll get through this. Let go and let God. That's all you could do.
so it sounds like you want to wash your hands of the situation and you think it's just going to get better on its own. Your kids aren't going to wake up one day like you think they did and they're going to be like you think that they did to think that you were bad. They're not going to just wake up one day and be like, oh no, she's fine. Um, all right. Yeah, that's what I wrote in my notes. Like, you expect your kids to correct this situation, have an epiphany, change their stance. So what you need to do is you need to listen to them. You need to actively try to fix this situation with them. If they are trying to tell you what you did, they are trying to repair the relationship because that's what they need to move forward. And if they weren't trying to tell you what happened, that would mean they just want nothing to do with you. Just like I do with my mother. I don't tell her anything. I don't fucking talk to her. The last time I saw her was Christmas of 2020. And the reason is, if I try to tell her anything that she did, she will just talk about how hard everything was for her at that time. Is that what you're doing? Because that's not helpful. That's not helpful to excuse and explain away your behavior. You need to take responsibility for it. It's uncomfortable. It's not going to feel good. And if you can accept responsibility and talk to your kids about it, this will be the path to getting them back in your life. And I can't say that with 100% certainty, but this is how I feel. And I will never have that with my mother because she's always the victim. And I have no idea what you are like outside of this video, but I assume that nobody is as bad as my mother because of the shit that she's pulled. So whatever happened between you, you can get over it. You can talk to your kids. Just listen to them. And I wrote a suggestion here because listening to it in person could be really hard. And it's like a blow to the ego when you're like, you hear the things that you did. And so possibly if they write down the things that they're upset about, you could read it, you could look over it, you could reflect on it, and then you don't have to respond right away to what they said. And oh god, I wrote some dumb thing that we all do shit to hurt each other, and we need to acknowledge it and own it, because this is just life. We all do it. I don't care who you are. We all do shit that hurts each other. It doesn't matter how bad or how little. And this isn't some original sin shit. I don't like religion. So it's just, this is a fact of life. And oh Lord, that brings me into the next point, but it's what you said next. So
And yes, I have my good days and bad days. Sometimes I'm good and happy, and other days I'm bawling my eyes out and very depressed.
I didn't write notes about this, and I don't like the word but. It invalidates what comes before it. And your feelings are valid. You are being separated from your kids, and that is upsetting, and you have a right to be upset. And that doesn't take away your accountability. Your hurt feelings doesn't invalidate their hurt feelings.
I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. It's very hard. Grieving a adult child like they're dead, but they're alive walking. They just ignore you. They don't acknowledge you at all. As I say,
You need to ask yourself why. Did I just jump the video? God damn it. But you need to ask yourself why they're doing that. I hope I didn't jump the. Oh no, it just moved. She must have Marnie must have put a cut in it, or no, she was wearing. You wearing the same shirt? I don't want to like do this for too long. How? Been recording for 22 minutes. Okay. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't know. I got to go back a little bit.
I'm bawling my eyes out and very depressed. I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. It's very hard. Grieving a adult child like they're dead, but they're alive walking. They just ignore you. They don't acknowledge you at all. All I say is,
So, oh, like I said before, you need to meet them halfway. They're not going to just talk to you magically, forgiving you all this other stuff. This is a two-sided thing, and you need to meet them halfway. Like, in my opinion, you're allowed to be hurt that they stop talking to you. You shouldn't bash them over the head with it. You need to recognize that they're doing it for a reason. They have feelings too. Their feelings are valid. And maybe they don't see things the way you do, and you don't see things the way they do. But discussing it and coming together will help. And I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying about grieving the relationship, because that's human. And you can't just expect them to act the way you want to.
is don't let your children bully you. Don't let them run you. They're not the boss, you are. You're the boss. You're their parent, you're not their friend.
So you're the boss, don't let them run you. This is great. Let's see what I wrote. I wrote, "Oh good, you're not willing to take any responsibility. Being the boss is not a shield. It does not make you infallible." And she goes on later to talk about being a Gen X and all this other shit, and talking about how their parents were hard, so she was hard on her kids. And it's like, it's clear that your parents did shit to you. So why do you think that you didn't do things to your children? And I just keep harping on this. Listen to your kids. Because she goes on, I don't know if I should just play it anymore, but she goes on to be like, they weren't abused. All right, fine. No, I should play it.
Okay? That's where you got to draw the line. You're their parent. You're not their friend. Yeah, you love them dearly and you want the best for them. That's why you're there, guiding them, pushing them. You got to be strong.
You gotta have structure. They gotta have discipline.
So that real quick thing over there, I was so confused when I was listening to this. Marnie put dubbing over this because there was music and it would have been copyrighted.
All the things you know. That's why a lot of people send their kids off to boot camp. Or they want their kids to join the service. Or something Kids need discipline. They need authority. They need structure. They need love. Yes, all that combined in.
Yeah, kids do need structure. Did you give it to them, though? Like, you don't know what it was from their point of view. And I don't know what the hell your kids' lives were like, what your life was like. But you probably don't know what it was from their perspective. Like, my mother moved us all the fuck over the place. And, excuse me, it was awful. Like, it fucked me up. I had no goddamn stability. And you keep saying you did the best you could, all this other stuff. We might not be at that point of the video, but you don't know what it was like for them. You can only see from your point of view. You might... that's the other thing. This makes me insane. Because what might have been a little event to you wasn't to your kids. When people say things that hurt us and wound us, it sticks in our brain. Like, I will never, ever, ever forget. This is a tame one, because I can't say the other one on here. I was an adult, because I was like 23. But my cousin was asking me if I ever wanted kids. And I said to her, I was like, I would love to have kids, but, I think I would need a much better job to be able to support them and stuff. And I was working for a tree company that our family friend had got me the job, and I was probably making like $35,000 a year. This was like 2010-ish. And my mother walks up to me, unbidden, not part of the conversation, and goes, "Where are you going to find a better job?" And I'm just like, what? And that's something that sticks with me. Like, this is the kind of shit that she would do, putting us down. And she probably doesn't remember saying that to me, but I remember. Like, you don't know, because you're obviously not listening to them, what their issues with you are. And until you listen, you're not going to bridge this gap.
One. But you have to be hard on your kids. You need them to be able to make a life, but also at the same time, respect you and love you and look at everything you.
Look at everything you. That's funny. Did you respect them? Did you respect their boundaries when they were kids? Did you... I mean, yes. Being a parent... I think it's interesting. I say that all the time when I actually just, like... I don't fucking know. Talking is hard, all right? Marnie keeps saying that parenting does come with instructions because there's a lot of resources out there, all this other stuff. I think that even though I'm not a parent, I would sympathize with the fact that I think it's hard. I would think parenting a child is fucking hard. And people might have a different perspective, but I also have mental health struggles and I have problems regulating my emotions and all this other stuff. But when you're saying you have to be hard on your kids, I don't think that would be correct. I think teaching your kids responsibility and showing them how they can do things better would be a better way than being hard. Like, just outright punishing your kids without teaching them what they should be doing or how to cope with it or finding out the root of the problem. Like, my mother, she would take away my PlayStation and stuff because I wasn't doing my homework. And what I say now about when I was in high school is I didn't do my homework because I was a depressed piece of shit. Which I think that was like 8th grade. The point is, did you have to be hard on your kids? It's just they I get into the weeds all the time. And I don't remember who was talking, but somebody was saying that parents have this problem that they just want to be defensive because they don't want to think about how they could have been a bad parent. And they have this identity of, like, they want to have the identity of, I was a good parent. And so it hurts their ego to think about, like, I might have messed up. So they don't want to see that. And I really think that that's what's going on here. And probably a lot of these estranged parents feel this way. And I'm generalizing. And I want to delve into this content a lot more and respond to people and do things. So I'm probably just going to repeat myself a lot. But I like this because I have the perspective of, I am a child who estranged their parent.
You, gave up for them. My kids are different. They don't see it, they just see. That I took from them, but I didn't. I gave up everything, and that's what you have to do. It sucks because I gave up my life, I gave up. Friends, I gave up everything. For my kids, I was always there for my kids.
I gave up everything for them. Everything. So, your love is conditional? That's what I'm hearing. Because you're saying that you had to give up everything for your kids, but then you're kind of saying you resent them for having to give up everything. So which is it? And is it their fault that you had to give up everything? Like, do they have to be immediately grateful because you sacrificed things? You may have been doing the best that you could, and it might not have been good enough. These things suck. It sucks to hear that you failed. It sucks to hear that you didn't do well. And being able to recognize that, talking to your kids. I want to say, though, like, clearly they are not perfect either. I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of bad shit in my life. And getting into the weeds again. Most of it is because of the maladaptive things that I had to do to survive my mother and all of the other shitty adults in my life. And I wish that it hadn't been that way, but it is. So I have to own up to those things that I did. And so do you. You want them to be the bigger person. And also, you want to take no accountability. You want to think that you're perfect and all this other stuff. And because this is what I'm hearing. You have no culpability in this situation. But you do.
I didn't work because I didn't want nobody watch my kids. I didn't trust nobody around my kids. So I was always with my kids doing everything. We did everything together.
Is it what they wanted, though? Did you give them space? Did you let them have boundaries? My mother didn't give us space. The thing is that what you might have seen as doing the right thing may have harmed them, may have caused them problems. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. And I like to try to be fair. The thing is, I feel like this is just a hypothetical because I don't fucking know. But I feel like if you talk to your children and not saying it as an excuse, but you are able to recognize, like, during this time, I did this to you and that hurt you, and I'm sorry. And not to deflect, but you could be like, this is what was going on. Because I think that we can have understanding for each other. Sometimes I want to have understanding for my mother because she either has narcissistic personality disorder or borderline. And yes, those are thrown around so much. You have no idea the stuff that this woman has done. So, because I have BPD, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, there were these situations that she clearly couldn't handle. And this is what caused her to act this way. And it's not okay. It's not okay that she treated us this way. Her being mentally ill is not an excuse. It is just a fact. So it doesn't take away the pain, the maladaptive behaviors I had to learn, or any of that. Just like the bad situations that you were in that might have caused you to cause harm to your children don't take away the harm that they received. And I would like it in a world where we could try to understand each other, and because I don't think that it should completely be the parent is bad, the parent is wrong. The parent is human. The parent has done things that negatively affected their children. It's not the end of the world. It shouldn't be the end of the world for you to be able to acknowledge that, recognize it, talk to your children about it so that they can get past these things. And this is only in the sense of repairing the relationship, because they likely could get over it with therapy on their own. And they're not going to want to be around you if you cannot recognize the things that happened. It's still going to hurt. Even if they can get past the stuff that you did that happened to them, I don't think that they're just going to be able to be disaffected by you invalidating their feelings, So now I'm rambling.
So, what I'm saying is if I was to go back and do it all over again, I'd do it the exact same way. I would do it because I didn't do anything but discipline guide structure. My children. Don't let your children take over your life.
That is crazy work. I would do it all the same. Your kids aren't talking to you. Why would you do the same thing? Like, this is you think you did nothing wrong, but you won't examine why your children won't talk to you. Come on, lady.
Don't let them run you, because then you're gonna end up either depressed or in this situation, and then it's too late.
I'm a Gen Xer. I come from a Gen X.
I think this is enough because this video is so long. Let's see. I don't even. Well, I can't. She's gonna go on to talk about how she's a Gen Xer, blah blah blah. Her parents were hard on her, all this other shit. I don't want to make this video forever, and I think I made a lot of points here. I think I don't like talking about myself in a positive light, but I think I make sense. I think I can come at this from an angle where I don't know if angle's the right word, but I would like to see the feelings for both sides, and there needs to be a meeting in the middle. Clearly, I think that there's more responsibility for the parents to work on themselves. I think that everybody would need therapy because these aren't just things you're going to get over. I've been in 13 years of therapy now, and it's like I'm still not over stuff. And it's been like on and off and all this other crap, and I'm in EMDR now. We're like kind of just starting it, and it's not easy. It is not fucking easy. And if you expect your kids to just wake up one day and be like, "Oh, we're over it. Everything is fine." That's not how it works. So I think it's this lady will never see this. If you are an estranged parent and you're watching this, I know it hurts. It hurts not being able to talk to people. It hurts thinking that they're mad at you, that you're separated, and I think that you need to examine why. Why are your kids not talking to you? You need to be open to seeing it. You need to be open to looking at their point of view. And like I said, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt to hear that you messed up. And it's something that needs to be done if you're going to reconcile with your kids. So, and I would suggest, I would think that it would be better to do this with a therapist, because if you don't have somebody to mediate, emotions could run high. They could get angry at you and start ranting and pushing you, and you might push back at them and invalidate them, and I would like to see actual growth, and I don't know if I'm saying the right things. I would like things to work out. I want people to be okay. And whatever, I'm not a therapist, so I'm just giving my insights on this. And that's why I'm saying I think going to a therapist would be a better thing. And you need to, like, the whole estranged parent thing where they think that fuck. I've seen a lot of, the therapist brainwashed my children and all this other stuff. Try to listen. Try to listen to what the therapist is saying, what your adult child is saying, and try to be open, because there can be middle ground. And I would like to see people getting back together. I would like to see people having family, because I get mad sometimes. I don't have a mom. Both of my fathers are dead, so I don't have parents. I I feel like I really never did, but it's not exactly true. So but I wish I had a mother that could listen to me, a mother that would be there as an actual mother instead of a victim, instead of somebody that needs to be taken care of. And it's not about her age, it's about the fact that she has always been the victim. So thank you for watching my video. Oh, let's see if I even edit this and put wonderful. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, leaving a like. Definitely put your thoughts down in the comments, because I will be responding. I will be talking in there, being anxious about responding to you. And yeah, I think I want to continue making videos like this because I like it. I think that this is an interesting topic. I find therapy interesting. I find mental health interesting, and I'm probably never going to shut up about it. And I'm rambling. So, bye.